Friends and comrades, we wish to welcome you and thank you for joining us as we remember our comrades who have given their lives in pursuit of a just and fair Ireland. Before we begin today, I'd like to pass on our condolences to the family and friends of Johnny O'Dwyer, who passed away a few days ago in Belfast. Johnny was a good friend to many of our members in Belfast and a great supporter of our movements, and our thoughts are with his family today. We gather every year on the anniversary of the death of Mickey Devine to remember him and the other men who died during the prison struggles of 1981. We also gather to remember all our friends and comrades of the Irish National Liberation Army and the Irish Republican Socialist Party from Derry and Tyrone who gave their lives during the latest phase of our struggle to remove British imperialism from Ireland. This year's commemoration is obviously different from previous years. We must be aware of the scientific advice around the COVID-19 pandemic and the need to adhere to social distancing advice, but pandemic or not, we will still remember our comrades in a fitting and appropriate manner. This year in particular has presented many challenges to us as political activists. When the pandemic began to spread in March of this year, Republican Socialist activists from across Ireland mobilised within our communities to play our part in ensuring that frontline workers had access to personal protection equipment and isolated individuals and families had food to eat. Dozens and dozens of our members kicked into action, raising funds and volunteering wherever we could. Literally tens of thousands of pieces of PPE were given to frontline staff in care homes and hospitals across Ireland. Thousands upon thousands of hot meals were prepared and delivered to homes on a daily basis at the height of the lockdown. Members of this movement stood up and acted in the great tradition of socialism in Ireland, of working class communities coming together not to rely on the British or Irish state to survive. Our membership are not found wanting. What this showed is that despite the negative propaganda of those state and their agents against this movement, what matters to our membership is their neighbours and friends of frontline workers and of isolated and vulnerable people. I am so proud of all our activists and what we have achieved during the past 6 months. No other organisation has done so much with so little resources. You should be proud of the work that you have carried out and proud of the role you have played in showing the true purpose of this movement and where our allegiances lie. We can't speak for the dead and never would, but we are confident that the actions of members of our movement during the past 6 months have been carried out following the political ethos that drove people like Mickey Devine. The political foundations of this movement laid down in 1874 are what inspired Mickey and continue to inspire contemporary activists today. The principle of working class empowerment is a central pillar of Republican socialism and this movement. Mickey and those around him understood this and they acted with that at its core, using the tactics and circumstances of which they found themselves. Similarly, today's activists are guided by the exact same principles, and this has been proven over the last couple of months. Before I finish, I would just like to put on record our opposition to the events over the last couple of days, where we've seen MI5 inspired attacks on Republicans throughout the island of Ireland, which included raids on the CRE offices today. This shows the British presence and the British occupation is still here, and we send solidarity to all those affected by this onslaught. Comrades, I will finish by saluting Mickey and his 9 brave comrades. They will always be in our hearts. And we also salute all those who gave their lives in the national liberation struggle, the struggle that continues to this day and will do so until we achieve a 32-county social republic. Thank you.